Also tonight, the former Illinois deputy accused of killing a black woman in her own home tells a jury today, taking the stand in his own defense, that he felt the only weapon that was appropriate was his pistol. To respond to the threat, he says he felt from Sonya Massey. Sean Grayson, you see him in court sketches there. Kind of a surprise move today, taking the stand to testify. Remember, Massey called 911 late one night last year, worried about a prowler. Body cameras captured her, this video, in her own home, picking up a pot of boiling water and telling Grayson, "I rebuke you," in her words, "in the name of Jesus." Grayson then yells at Massey to drop the pot. Seconds later, fires 3 shots. Prosecutors say Massey was never a real threat to Grayson, arguing he'd gotten frustrated with her throughout the night. But Grayson's lawyer says his client's actions were reasonable under the circumstances. Grayson has pleaded not guilty to 3 counts of first-degree murder. I want to bring in Maggie Vespa for us. A lot of questions for Grayson today on the stand, as he, again, took the stand here about why he didn't use a taser. What was the reasoning there?
Yeah, and these questions, Hallie will note, were from his attorneys. So clearly this was something they wanted to get out in front of the jury. Like, why didn't you use a less lethal weapon? And he basically said, listen, the way a taser works, you have to get the prongs onto the person's skin, which he worried getting that close, he would be hit with the boiling water, which he said was made him afraid of great bodily harm. And then he also said during the testimony, tasers don't work on everyone. His team didn't really elaborate there, but it basically said that he believed that his gun was his only option. If we can pull up the graphic of some of the testimony here, he said, I took it as a threat, meaning when Massey picked up that pot of boiling water and, as you said, told him, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. His attorney kind of then going in on this point, he said, the only thing that you had, that you perceived could stop the threat was your duty weapon, meaning your gun. Grayson said yes. And then he said, I approached, meaning took steps toward Massey, to make sure that she wasn't going to come out with another weapon like a knife or a gun, because, Hallie, that was another big point of contention. They actually had experts from both sides on the stand testifying about police de-escalation tactics. Experts for the prosecution said he shouldn't have walked toward her with his gun, that he kind of like escalated everything and made this all the more dramatic. We had experts for the defense today saying, no, that is a tactic, showing you have the potential to use force, then kind of ordering someone to calm down while you're showing that. That is a reasonable option in some cases. So a lot of back and forth. You can see that use of force analyst today kind of laying that out for the defense. A lot of back and forth on a lot of topics that clearly Hallie, Grayson, and his team wanted him to talk about firsthand, which is why he pulled that surprise move and took the stand today.
And it's also interesting because this trial, it feels like, has moved along at lightning speed here, because closings may be tomorrow?
They might be first thing in the morning. That appears to be the tentative plan, according to the judge, as it stands right now. Both sides say they're ready to get at this at basically 9 a.m. local time. But you're right. Initially, we were told this could last up to 2 weeks. And then the judge last week said they thought they would wrap on Wednesday, meaning the day after tomorrow. You can see the courtroom schedules. Everybody's really been moving along at a decent clip. We've also had protests outside the courthouse. Again, this is in Peoria, Illinois, about an hour north of Springfield, where the shooting happened. So the judge, the defense, the prosecution, everyone involved has really tried to keep this tight, keep the attention on this case from seeping into the jury pool, and seemingly as part of their strategy to kind of keep the clarity and the details of the case in focus here. They're moving along at a pretty decent clip. So you're right. We'll see closings tomorrow. Then it goes to the jury. And then after that, it's really anyone's guess as to when we could see a verdict, Hallie.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app, or watch live on our YouTube channel.